Hey everybody, this is Sam Machkovech from Ars Technica, standing here with Mark Walton. We are in Los Angeles, and we just witnessed the first of the big E3 video game press conferences. This one came from Microsoft, and I mean, why do we care about this one? What was the thing that was announced?
Well, it's not Xbox Scorpio, it's Xbox One X. Ooh. That's right.
What does the X stand for?
Extra power. In this case, 4K. 4K gaming. All the way. That was the entire press conference. They were hammering it home. The big news here is November 7th, and it's $499 or £449 if you come from the lovely land of the UK like me. It's basically the Xbox One S, except, you know, it's a little bit smaller apparently. Apparently it's the smallest Xbox they've ever made. It's black, it comes with a black controller, and there's not much to say about it from a design point of view. It just wasn't that exciting. It's not bad, it's just an Xbox One S. A
lot of it was not very surprising. They said 4K so much because we already knew pretty much what was coming packed into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the stuff that came out came out of the Eurogamer reveal earlier in the year. So, you know, it's the same stats, like 12 gigabytes of GDDR5, the same much more powerful graphics processor from AMD inside that enables 4K gaming. It's 6 teraflops instead of the PlayStation 4 Pro's 4 teraflops. So, you know, they're trying to get one up on Sony on this one. In theory, it won't require as much of the upscaling techniques that Sony uses on the PlayStation 4 Pro in order to get games to run at 4K.
And I wonder how people are going to feel about that price.
Well, let's get that out of the way, right? The price is significantly higher than the PlayStation 4 Pro. You're getting more for your money in theory in terms of the tech inside. But yeah, I mean, that's a high price.
The other stuff is that games are coming to both Xbox One and Xbox One X, also Windows 10 PC. How many games were revealed as, like, with Xbox One specific ties and all that?
Right, so here's the deal. There were 44 games, including one crazy sizzle reel of indie games. 22 of those games are exclusive or console exclusive to the Xbox platform. I mean, this was Microsoft turning to everyone that said to them, hey man, Sony's got all the great games, they've got all these great studios, what have you guys got? And for the past year or so, maybe even past couple of years, they haven't had anything. This was them going, screw you, we've got loads and loads of games, and they just churned them all out, man. It was really impressive, actually.
Yeah, I was picking out a few. I thought Assassin's Creed Origins, it leaked a little while ago, but this was the first real reveal of this Egyptian twist on Assassin's Creed. And what that looked like to me was a lot more open space. Assassin's Creed games have been characterized as very busy cityscapes to some extent. There have been dalliances with forests and certainly seas. But this, to me, looked the most like Assassin's Breath of the Creed. What else stood out for you?
Well, I mean, I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed guy, as you know, right? But I guess the big one that they saved for the end, which we heard about first yesterday from EA, was Anthem, right? This was the big hitter, right, for games. It's not Xbox exclusive, but they did the world premiere of this footage. And basically what we're looking at here is BioWare doing Destiny. Okay, that's what this game is. It's third-person, sci-fi, exosuits, jetpacks, 4-player co-op, giant dinosaur-like things, huge open world, go shoot stuff. It looks flipping fantastic.
And we were both just knocked off our socks.
There's a whole scene where he flies from the jetpack through a big tunnel into a forest and then deep underwater. It's a really cool sequence. I mean, as a showcase for what the Xbox One X can do, because it was running on the X, the 4K stuff, the HDR stuff, it is a beautiful looking game, and I can see why it's taken them so long to get this far, because that's a lot of work.
And I think that's one benefit Xbox One X is going to give, kind of like both PlayStations do, which is if you have HDR, it'll pop on that compatible TV. So that'll be cool. Microsoft specific stuff didn't necessarily blow me away as much, however. There were a few titles that stood out, and I really was interested in Sea of Thieves. That's been in the works, it's been announced, but now it looks like a complete game. It's 5-player teams, you're all swashbuckling together as pirates. You need to all work together to operate all the different parts of the ship, but they also now showed things where you're jumping into the water, you're swimming around, you're diving into caverns, looking for treasure. That whole combination of the full suite of land and sea kind of action that I think is going to keep people attached to that. There were so many games listed off. I can't even keep track. I know the one that had maybe the briefest showing was the one that got you the most excited. I think it starts with a C.
That would be Cuphead, the game that finally finally is coming out. This was like, wasn't Cuphead announced alongside the Xbox One, or at least very soon
I
after?
think it might have been in the 90s. I lose track. It's been a while.
It's a really, really difficult platformer, really old school, but a beautiful visual style. I'm sure you've seen it at this point, like it's been around for that long. Can't wait, and I'm so glad it's finally being released.
What got revealed was Xbox One backwards compatibility is going way back. In fact, Xbox One is now going to be compatible with Xbox One. The OG original 2002 Xbox system, games from that one will now be playable on Xbox One, the whole Xbox One family. That's going to roll out later this year. They didn't specify exactly. Crimson Skies is the only confirmed game so far. Not a bad start, considering how beloved that old school flying game is, with great dogfighting, great single player, great multiplayer. Be interesting to see if that multiplayer carries over on Xbox One. And then the other big announcement of something that we already really knew plenty about was Minecraft. Minecraft is getting its first giant visual overhaul since it came out as like a Java-only alpha on computers.
Yeah, so this again, Xbox One X, 4K. So this is their huge. I forgot what it was called. It had some crazy name, didn't it?
Super duper graphics pack.
That's the one. So the super duper graphics pack, it introduces all this crazy new lighting stuff. It's still block based. It's not like they've gone from this crazy Lego thing to, oh my god, a photorealistic game or anything. It still has that cartoony look, but certainly higher resolution, HDR stuff. You know, it looks fun.
So that's only scratching the surface of 5 gazillion games that were shown off. I'm sure some of them are rattling off right now in rapid succession, maybe covering my face up. There's a Forza coming, there's another, there's Crackdown 3.
Of those games, were any of them like, did they blow you away enough to be like, I got to pick up an Xbox now, I have to have an Xbox? And that's the question I'm asking myself.
I did not leave that thinking I need to get an Xbox, because they've latched me in as a Windows 10 gamer. And what they have done is said to me, get it. We have games that are going to either work on one of our Xboxes or your Windows 10 PC. So I'm in their ecosystem.
You know, I didn't think any of those games, apart from Anthem, were kind of so good that I have to pick up an Xbox. I mean, the question now is that with Sony's head start on this, the PlayStation 4 Pro came out last October, so they've had a very good head start on trying to get that 4K message out there, even though it's a less powerful console. Right now, you know, they've also got a huge lead in terms of overall sales. They've got some great games coming out on their platform. You know, is this enough? Is this enough for Microsoft to really get back in the race for console gamers?
I mean, we got to get that answered when we see what Sony has to offer, because it really comes down to who has those console exclusives. And Microsoft did list quite a few console exclusives.
Yeah, I think, you know, despite the hardware, which we all wanted to see, I came out of that press conference a little bit underwhelmed. But, you know, it's early days. The Sony press conference is tomorrow. It might be a train wreck. Who knows, right?
And I wouldn't call Microsoft's a train wreck. I think they had the content. They had a new machine. They got us talking about a price point and a date for that. That exists. I'm going to want to try it out and see exactly how it performs. Because, again, $500 for pure 4K, if they really do pull it off, and if it really does provably look better than PlayStation 4 Pro, then that'll be a big win. We still have a ton of video games to go check out, because the proof is in the gaming pudding. So if you keep it tuned to Ars Technica, hang out on our YouTube channel, like it, subscribe it. We are going to be feeding you content. So I don't just say that for fun. Like, that is going to get you right into our veins of video content. Lots of E3 stuff happening. Very excited. Mark Walton, Sam Machkovech. We're going to go play games. See ya.